You've now asked me 3 questions about comments that I made 3 years ago. I wonder what Kamala Harris thinks about the fact that she supported policies that opened the American southern border. I wonder what Kamala Harris thinks about the fact that she lied to the American people about Joe Biden's middle facility for the office. You are interviewing me, Dana, because I respect the American people enough to sit down for an interview.
I appreciate that.
Kamala Harris has been the nominee for 3 weeks. She hasn't sat down for a real interview.
Believe me, we are asking. You're not going to get a disagreement there.
But the point is, Dana, you've got me for 15 minutes or however long you have me. We should be talking about public policies that matter.
That's CNN host and equine reporter Dana Bash getting called out by Trump's running mate JD Vance for being politically biased towards Kamala Harris. Welcome to Nerk News, I'm Nerkish, and if you're one of the conservatives who are unsure about JD Vance as Trump's choice for VP, this interview may be for you. Because in it, he expertly cuts through all the gotcha questions and politically motivated BS this NPC reporter throws at him.
Donald Trump has been attacking Kamala Harris's racial identity.
He has not been, but ask your question.
Well, he questioned her racial identity. He said a number of years ago she happened to turn black. Her father is Jamaican. Do you believe Kamala Harris is black?
I believe that Kamala Harris is whatever she says she is, but I believe importantly that President Trump is right that she is a chameleon. She pretends to be one thing in front of one audience. She pretends to be something different in front of another audience. Look, Dana, she's not running a political campaign. She's running a movie. She only speaks to voters behind a teleprompter. Everything is scripted. She doesn't have her policy positions out there. She hasn't answered why she wanted to ban fracking, but now she doesn't. She wanted to fund police, but now she doesn't. She wanted to open the border, but now she doesn't. This is a fundamentally fake person. She's different depending on who she's in front of.
You know, I've got to say, it's been really entertaining to watch the media go from making excuses for things Democrats say to being completely unable to understand context and taking literal interpretations of every single thing Republicans say. It's okay for Obama to say things like he wishes he could be a shadow president for an installed figurehead, get rid of the Constitution for a day, or run for a third term because he was obviously joking. Yet when Trump jokes that he'd be a dictator for a day to fix everything, or that Harris is a flip-flopper who's using race for political capital, the media assumes a worst possible interpretation of his words.
Governor Walz served 24 years.
Sure.
He even stayed after he could have retired because of 9/11, more than the country asked of him. Do you honor his service?
Well, of course, Dana, I honor his service, and I've never criticized what Tim Walz did when he was in the military. I criticized his retirement decision, and most importantly, Dana, I criticized his lying about his own record. I've never lied about what I did or overstated it because it would be beneficial to me in an election. I think that's what Tim Walz did. That's what I was criticizing, and yes, I do think it's scandalous behavior.
The Harris Walz campaign did say that the governor misspoke there.
Sure.
Do you accept that?
He misspoke. Another word is that he lied about it, and he didn't correct the record for 15 years until he was put under political pressure because I called it out, Dana. Whatever you want to call it, a misspeaking or a lie, I think Tim Walz should have to correct the record.
He retired 2 months before they actually got the paperwork.
But on CNN last night, Dana, one of the people who was actually in charge of him said they knew they were going to deploy to Iraq in February of 2004, fall of 2004. So he knew he was going to Iraq. He decided to quit, to retire, whatever word you want to use.
Retire.
Because he wanted to run for Congress. He lied about that. He said that when he decided to retire, he did not know that he was going to Iraq. That is another untruth, as even his senior military officer said.
It's always amusing to watch the on and off again respect and faux reverence that the Democrat media complex has for military service. You know, just like being religious, they've diminished it to the point of having no political capital within their own party. That is, until it becomes a useful shield to hide behind while they attack their opponents, or a tool to pretend that their radical candidates are moderate. Regardless, this whole interview was great though. Unlike Harris and Walz, Vance has repeatedly been making the rounds on these shows and doing an excellent job at fielding these questions. The CNN interview alone was a two-parter that I could have done a whole nother video on because there's so many good bits. But let me know what you think. Has your opinion of Vance changed since Trump announced him as his running mate? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. That stuff really does help us out. Until then, this has been Nerk News. Thanks for watching. Bye!